about discussions to post on my channel. This one, I had the idea for this one, and it stuck in my mind. When I go out playing snooker with my mates, I'm usually rubbish. I get 1 or 2 balls in, maybe 3 at the most. But I went out playing snooker yesterday, but I've posted a couple of videos, and they're getting a fair number of me and my friends at Lost Oak Social Club, and they're getting a fair number. They're getting a surprising number of views, and I was potting 1 ball after another. I couldn't believe it. It was like a miracle. But they do say practice makes perfect, and it's like that with bowling as well. I started going bowling with my friends, and all that happened was, at first was, I'll have the ball in my hand, and I used to let go of it, and then it used to watch us wobble off, and wobble onto the side, and just not hit any of the pins. But now I've actually won in a few games of bowling. So you can see from that practice makes perfect. But no matter how much practice you get, there's always room for improvement, and there's always room for improvement in us all, isn't there? Really. And when I was a teenager, I was going through a difficult patch in my life. I was affected by violence on the chain scheme, and I left and went on a college course that was called the CPVE course, and I got thrown off it because they didn't feel it was suitable for me, and I had to go and sign on the dole. And I was experiencing a bit of bullying at college as well, but that wasn't the reason why I left. I just got thrown off the course. But I was just going through a bit of a difficult patch at the time. Nobody knew what was wrong with it at the time. When I didn't get a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome until I was well in my 20s. So when I was a teenager, nobody knew what was wrong with me. Really. But I've been living independently for the past. I will have been living independently for 9 years next month, and I've done fairly well. I only have a carer coming in 1 day a week now. I had to have a cleaner coming in because I'm a mucky pup. I have a cleaner coming in 1 day a week. I need that. I'm in desperate need of a cleaner coming in because I leave everything all over the floor and don't pick it up. I'm too busy doing YouTube videos. Actually, that's the reason why. I'm too busy doing these YouTube videos. But the thing is that life in this world isn't easy. We can also go through difficult patches in our lives. My life isn't as difficult now as what it was, but it still isn't easy. And the point I'm getting to is that it was an old workmate of my father's. He knew I was going through a bit of a difficult patch, and he gave me this badge saying, "Over the hill, but not dead." And it was true. I was over the hill, but not dead. I didn't die, and I'm still here today enjoying life. So Basically, the message of this is hi. Someone has said hi to me, so I'm saying hi back to them. The message of this is, if you're going through a difficult patch in your life, just try and keep positive. The Monty Python team said, always look on the bright side of life, and that's good advice. And with these wars that are going on right now, there's plenty of people going through difficult patches, but it doesn't. It's not gonna. Maybe it isn't. Maybe better times ahead will be ahead for them. And I don't work, but I'd like to be a writer really, but it's very difficult to get into anything like that because of all the competition. But I just have to make the most of my life. It's like I say, I've been living independently for it'll be 9 years next month so since I started living independently. What happened was that after my father died, my father died when he was. I got diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, this form of autism known as Asperger's syndrome, when I was in my mid-20s, I think. And because of this, my mother didn't feel I was ever able to live independently. She just treated me like a child. Basically, she was like I don't know. She was like Timothy Lumsden's mother. I don't know. There was a sitcom on in the 80s called Sorry, with Ronnie Corbett in it, and he was playing this librarian called Timothy Lumsden, and he's in his 40s, and he still lives at home with his parents, and because. I think his mother especially doesn't want to admit that he's grown up, and I think the funniest episode of it is where his sister Muriel comes to visit, and she's encouraging him to get away from his mother because she's treated him like a child all his life, and she encourages him to run away with her, and he's packed all these things, and he goes to catch the train with Muriel, and he falls down the stairs and bangs his head. And then after that, it shows you getting on leaving the house and going to catch the train with Muriel. And he's lost her, and it becomes apparent in pretty soon that it's not really happening. It's just a dream. And he wakes up and he finds himself in bed. He's in bed because his mother's put him to bed because he's fallen down the stairs and banged his head. And she puts a teddy in bed with him and says, "Teddy will be mummy." And both his parents are in the bedroom, and she puts a teddy in bed with him and says, "Teddy will be mummy." And his parents walk out, and he gets his teddy and bashes a teddy against a cupboard or something, saying, "Teddy will be mummy, Teddy will be mummy." But that I think probably mothers in particular really don't or maybe probably fathers in a lot of cases don't they don't like to admit that the children have grown up, and in my case, it was even harder for my parents to admit that I'd grown up. They felt I had these disabilities, and because I actually got diagnosed with schizophrenia at first, and they didn't know. They didn't think I was able to live independently. I was basically under their thumb. I was under their thumb for most of my life, really. And my dad died from lung cancer when he was 33, and it is after that I was just stuck living with my mother for 12 years, and she couldn't be with me all the time because she was getting older. She had to have operations, and she had me put in respite. She wouldn't leave me in the house on my own when she couldn't be with me. She had me put in respite homes, and then, but in sort of August, I think sort of summer or the autumn of 2010, she had a stroke. She had a stroke, and she was never the same after that. And I went in the Sandy Way Lodge respite home in Northwich while she was in hospital with that. And she was never the same, really. She was just nagging me most of the time. She was very demanding. Well, one of her friends were helping us out, and she actually lost a rag with me mum at one point, and told her she was very demanding, but she was very demanding and very childlike as well. But then it went. Then she kept getting one thing wrong with her after another. Really, she had encephalitis in 2014. In 2014. Then the following year, she had a second stroke, which was a major one. And because I was with her when she was displaying the symptoms of all these things, it's had a terrible effect on my nervous system. I'm still only starting to get over it now. But around about this time, 9 years ago, I was in the I was in the Lethbridge Green respite home, and these respite homes they cost a bomb to stay in. You know, I was paying over £300 a week to stay in there because social services actually charge you. The more savings you've got, the more they charge you for staying in these places. And they my social worker came to see me when I was in this Lethbridge Green place, and she told me because I was over 18, I was legally regarded as an adult. Well, I was well over. I was. How old was I? I was 45 or what I was at the time. And because she told me because I was over 18, I was an adult, I didn't have to stay in respite homes if I didn't want to, despite what my mother said. And she says I could stay on my own in my mother's old house while she was in hospital. And I agreed to do this, but she said I would have to have carers coming in on a daily basis. And I agreed to it. And it was like April 2015. I started living. I got out of Lethbridge. I got out of Lethbridge Green and went living on my own in my mother's old house. Then the following month, she finally passed away from a chest infection, and I wasn't ready to move house just at, at that time because of all that had gone through. So I just kept living in her old house until my mother died in May 2008, May 2018. Oh, no, sorry, I got all confused now. My mother died in May 2015, and her house became mine because she passed her entire estate on to me in a will. So her house became mine, so I could do with it what I wanted. But I didn't put it up for sale straight away. I stayed in it I stayed in it for as long as what I could bear to stay in it. Basically, it got to a point where I just had enough of the place, so I just bought this for a game of soldiers and putting it up for sale. So I had 6 different estate agents to look at it, and well, one of them told me they could give me they could give me 135,000 per pound for it, but this woman who was interested in buying it, she came round with her father to have a look to make sure, because I think her father wanted to make sure she wasn't getting ripped off. And the thing, I couldn't get 135 grand for it in the end because it had damp patches. But I got 115 grand, which is not bad, really. I mean, I'm surprised I think I'm lucky to have got 115 grand for it, really. It was just my dad always used to call the place his humble abode. And it was humble abode. It was, but I was going to live in this flat down Heber Walk in Northwich, and it's across the road from where my best friend lives. And the woman who was contemplating selling it decided to not to sell it in the end. So but that flat was only £80,000. So I would have got a fair deal of equity. I would have made quite a large profit from going to live from going to live there, but no, it was never to be. But because the woman who was contemplating decided to stay there, and this flat where I am now, I had to pay an extra £8,000 out of my savings on top of what I got from my house. But I'm not moving again anytime this year. There's some flats in Northwich, but that are for over 55s. I've got an open mind because I'll be 55 in May this year, and I've got an open mind towards moving into one of those flats eventually. In fact, I might pop in there today. And hello, my friend, and ask him what sort of price how much you get ripped off for living there, and are they available to buy or available to rent? Well, even if they're available to rent, if I sold this place, I could rent one of those. I could use the money for renting what one of those places. So I think I'll pop in there today and ask about you know what sort of how expensive it'd be to live in one of those places. But I'm not contemplating. I'm not going to contemplate moving any time this year because I'm not ready for it yet. It's a big upheaval moving house. But the point I'm making is that I've lived independently for more or less 9 years now. I'm from Indonesian. I've lived independently for more or less 9 years, and I've just about even though it's been difficult, I've always made sure that I'm bed and all my bills are paid. I've, I've got behind me paying my care bills, but I don't particularly want to pay them anyway. But they won't. If I get behind me paying my care bills, I get a kick up the backside from them. This company who were looking after me, Archangel Care. But I'm not really safe on the roads. I've had hundreds of driving lessons, but I never quite cracked it. In fact, my fourth driving instructor advised me to buy my own car, and I did buy my own car, and I couldn't. I've never been able to drive on my own because I never passed my test. And me and my friend we're taking it home from the car showroom where I bought it from me when it had its MOT. And I think in a moment of time, I think I got confused about which pedal my foot was on, and it sort of crashed in. It veered to the right and crashed into this someone's works van and had to be written off. So I've never bothered with driving since then. It's I had to go. I got to persevere with it for as long as what I did. I went. My third driving instructor. He thought I should go to a. He was retiring, but he told me he thought I needed to go to a driver assessment centre to see whether they thought it was worth me having any more lessons. Well, I couldn't go to this driver assessment centre for ages because of COVID. But I finally got around to having myself assessed, and they didn't completely rule out me having any more lessons. But I'm not. I did have a few. I had. It was them who put me onto my fourth driving instructor. This woman at Altrincham who taught in an automatic car. And but I'm not really safe on the roads. Really, I'm not really a safe driver. I'm glad I'm not on. I'm glad I persevered with it for as long as what I did because I got to go on the dual carriageway and drive at 70 mile an hour. Although it was scary, but whether I would have got, I don't think I would ever really got used to driving at that speed because it's the faster your car's going, the difficulty is to control it really. The guy who did the funeral, the prayer at my mum's funeral, he went on the autobahn in Germany and drove at 160 miles per hour. Wow, I mean, imagine driving at that sort of speed. It'd be like flying a plane, wouldn't it, on the ground? But the thing is about me. You got to remember that my nerves are still my nerves have never really little settled down really. Because of everything that I went through with my mother, because we're still living at home with her, and everything that I had to go through, but my nervous system has never quite got over it all. But I could do a 24-hour video for you, all about my life and how bad my nerves are and everything. But I think I'm going to have to keep it under. It's getting towards half an hour now. I've been rabbiting on at you all for. But basically, what this is just a word of encouragement to anybody who's going through a difficult patch in their life right now. If you're going through a difficult patch, just think, I'm over the hill, but not dead. But better things might be on the horizon for me. Things won't always be difficult. Things won't always be like they are now. Things can only get better. They can only get better. Now, things can only get better. Life can be hell at times, but it's true that life can be hell at times, but maybe eventually life will be heaven. Just think, over the hill, but not dead.